Hey everyone, it's Maggie Mylow here, and I'm back with the last video for our winter branch painting. So this is, I think, the fifth video, so we're going to finish it up today. But first of all, I just want to give you a couple things where you can find me and a couple options for you. So this is the Virtual Art Club. So this is an online series that I'm doing just because there's a lot of kids out right now, and with the schools being closed, there's lots of talks about the virtual arts, etc., being cut, and I think it's a really shame and a loss. So I just want this available for people so that way they can learn along. And so I just want to say if there's also a way for you to be involved a bit more. So other than just the videos, I do have a Facebook group, which is Maggie Mylow's Virtual Art Club. And it's on Facebook, and if you search it, it's available to find publicly. There you can post stuff that you've worked on, if you've worked on any of the classes, if you've done anything in the notebook, or if you need any advice or any help. It's just a little easier for me to answer your question in a better platform like that. So if you do need to contact me at all, my email is maggiemylow@hotmail.com. I am doing these lessons free, but if you feel like the value of these lessons is very worth it, I would appreciate any denomination in a donation that you would like. So you can contact me there. All right, so this is where we left off. So now that the business part's all over, let's get back to the fun part of it. So this is where we left off. And the only thing we have left to do is we're going to put some snow on some of these branches. And then we're going to put some snow on some of these berries. So the first thing we're going to do is I always like to put the snow onto the branches. So like, again, you could leave this painting on at this step and walk away and be totally fine. But if you want to take it an additional step a little bit farther, here we go. So I want you to take, it's almost just a little bit of turquoise and a lot of white. And I have a little too much turquoise on my brush, and I want it very just kind of light turquoise, lighter than the sky. And I'm going to show you how to do this touch up right here. We got to actually fix this first. So let's go in here. So let's just touch this up. And we're going to just touch this part up so that way we got rid of that extra brown because there was a little bit of a boo-boo in here. So let's just fix this. And then we'll just go back to some of this darker turquoise. Just so we can blend this out a little bit. So all I did was a lighter mix. And then I'm just doing really light little blue strokes of turquoise, just a little bit darker, just to blend that all in so that way you don't see where I had that little mistake. And it just takes a little bit of finessing, and it's just really light, just like that. So now you don't even really see it. Let's just kind of touch that part up over there. Okay. And you can even layer color over top of that again as it dries, but that looks a lot better. You can barely notice that anymore. Okay, so now let's go back to the snow. So we're just going to get some of that kind of light teal color. And then we're going to go over top with pure white. So we're just going to, don't really care about the bottom part of the snow. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. Oops. You can kind of make it a little scratchy to make it look like there's kind of some drifts, and you're going to follow kind of the branch the way it's going to follow the tree. There might be a little hollow in there, so you can kind of make it look like there's a ridge in the snow there. So if you're just a little scratchy with it, you don't want it to be too perfect, so I'm just going to pick up a little color. Just kind of like doing a really light brushing motion. I want it to be kind of scratchy on the bottom, and then just kind of follow those branches up. Don't worry about going too far up. Get my brush a little bit wetter. I'm going to go back in here. Oh, that's way too wet. it gets a little too runny like that, that's way too wet. So just go back to here, and you can kind of come up and over. You want this a little bit whiter. You see, you don't have to worry about it being perfect because you want that snow to kind of look scratchy. Okay. When you're doing these branches, don't do this side, kind of leave a little gap. And then just kind of come up this way. And same thing, we'll just put a little snow on this side. The whiter it is, the more it's going to look like snow. The more you see the tree underneath, the more it's going to look like frost. Okay. Let's do a little this way. Oh, that's a lot of snow. That's okay. It can look like a lot of snow. Okay. Slow on that side. All right. See, it's not quite white. It's just a little off white. Oops. Okay, then let's come down here. And really right on the very tip of the brush, so light pressure, and then leave a little gap in here. Maybe thin some areas out. And if you have some weird areas, you can kind of cover it up with some snow, and then you don't even really know it was a mistake. So here's another little gap. Up that tree, leave another little gap. Okay. Okay, we're almost done the snow. And anytime you want anything a little bit more solid, you can go right back to some white paint right on the very top. You want white only on the top and the light blue on the bottom. Just wanted to make that look a little bit more like lumpy snow. Okay, so just keep following that line. That's way too much paint. So if you get that, just really lightly just pick it up. You can kind of smooth this paint out a little bit. Reshape your brush every now and again. Every now and again it loses its shape. Here. Make sure you're only going on one side, either the top side or pick either the left or the right side. It's always important you stay on the same side, otherwise your direction or your light change is going to be different and your painting will look off. So it's either on the top and the right or the top on the left. Okay, so just think of which way you want that snow to go. Okay. Just a few more little branches in here, and then the berries are really fast. So let's get some snow on these guys. Okay, I'm not worried about too much of that. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to take your finger and just get a little bit of paint on your finger, and then you can just rub, and then take a clean finger and rub it out. So you take a little bit of that paint and you put it on, and then you take a clean finger. Oh, I got a little bit more paint. So you put some paint on the berry, and then you take a clean finger and kind of rub it out. So take a clean finger, just rub out the berry so it gets a little bit of a frosted look to it. So sometimes I just add a little bit more and then just fuzz it out. Okay, see how I'm just adding a little bit, and then I'm just going to buff it out. Some areas was a little harder than others, but you can keep going back in. Okay, and then that is it for the actual whole painting. So the last thing you do when you complete a painting is you sign your name, and somebody always says with what color and where, and the choice is completely up to you. I do recommend the liner brush just because it's easier to paint with, and you can see I added quite a bit of water in here. I just kind of used the sky color, and I added a little bit more black to it just to mute it out. And then you can practice doing your signature, but you just want to go nice and slow. Remember, it is a paintbrush, so it only likes to go in one direction. And I would recommend doing a letter at a time. And every time I do, I haven't painted for a long time, I swear my signature changes. Okay, and then I always put the year. You can put whatever you like. Okay, just go nice and slow. You can practice if you want. All right, so ta-da, you should have something very similar to this. I hope you guys give it a try. If you do, I would love to see what you guys do. Again, if you want to join over at the Virtual Art Club, you can feel free to share whatever you've come up with over there. So thanks again for joining in. Love to hear your comments, and I will see you guys next week with another painting.